Dawn raids, Bakersfield warehouse, gunfire from the roof. Inside, crates labeled auto parts, frozen goods hiding $8.6 million, and a command room quietly moving 420 shipments a month across 7 states. But the breakthrough wasn't in the crates. It was in the hard drive. Watch how investigators unlocked a bribery ledger that greased permits and border passes, with payouts reaching $220,000 per month. Then follow the money as it disappeared through Panama and Hong Kong within 45 minutes of departure. And yes, their plan to rebuild in 60 days was already underway. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. A trucking depot in Bakersfield opened like any other. Yard lights on, reefers humming, forklifts staged. So why did 2 guards start shooting from the roof at dawn? The answer sat past the loading bays, behind a steel door where logistics looked cleaner than any retail distribution center and moved faster than most. Breach teams pushed through the office hallway and into a refrigerated maze. Trailers lined both sides, their thermometers blinking steady numbers. Crates on the floor carried tidy stamps for auto parts and drive assemblies. A side room stayed unnaturally calm, lit by a wall of route maps and monitors. The screens showed pins sliding across a grid, not in bursts, but in a continuous flow that made the place feel less like a warehouse and more like an air traffic center tuned to 18-wheeler convoys. Teams expected to hit a stash and bag evidence. They found a live dashboard instead, tracking rigs rolling through California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Colorado, and Kansas. Each truck tagged with a call sign, each route slotted into a window that shaved minutes off risk. GPS pings rolled every few seconds. Departure times were color-coded. A dispatcher window sent route edits that landed on drivers' tablets in near real time. On the floor, trailers ran double deep. False walls sat 8 inches off the factory bulkhead, a gap just wide enough to hide vacuum-sealed bundles. Cold storage racks were full of frozen meat and produce, stacked to the ceiling with neat pallet labels. Forklift batteries sat charging, warm against the chill. Wrapped into the food pallets, agents found dense bricks pressed to match the weight profile of legitimate cargo. The cold masked scent and density at a glance. Thermal cameras did almost nothing in there. Frozen goods equalize surface temperatures, so heat imaging can't pick out hotspots that would give away hidden compartments. Insulated panels killed any temperature drift. Some trailers used composite liners that reflected thermal signatures back into the cargo space. The compartments were machine cut and foam sealed, built to shrug off handheld scanners and even some portal systems. The trick wasn't magic. It was physics and patience. The kind used by advanced smuggling crews who rely on consistent refrigeration to make contraband read as just more cold freight. One feed on the dashboard flagged a mid-shift update. A tractor marked for Arizona changed course outside Barstow and pushed northwest. The route text refreshing to Nevada without a call. The system's script rotated lanes every 72 hours, swapping highways and staging lots like moving chess pieces. If a checkpoint lit up, the algorithm went dark on that corridor and opened a parallel line 2 states over. Then the scale started to show. Filing cabinets held incorporation packets for 28 trucking fronts with different logos and DOT numbers. Work orders tied 14 machine shops to the builds for sealed compartments, each with part numbers and maintenance intervals. 8 cold storage sites fed the Bakersfield hub on a loop, moving inventory lists that blended grocery freight with coded bundles. It ran like a private carrier with a shadow manifest. Agents powered down machines and imaged 31 laptops. A stack of portable drives sat under the desk, one heavily encrypted, labeled with a bland project code. That drive mattered. It linked the screens to a ledger and gave the dashboard a spine. File trees showed weekly dispatch calendars, exception reports, and a Western region index that mapped 420 monthly movements when the system hit full capacity and 182 in low cycles. The room wasn't cover, it was the brain. The ledger stitched routes across 7 states with the precision of a corporate TMS, hiding illicit freight in legal schedules so well it read as commerce. And if the screens drew the highways and flags, the hard drive pointed to something quieter. Guaranteed passage secured by people who could tilt the night in their favor. The drugs were heavy, but the hard drive was heavier. How do payouts up to $220,000 a month make trucks invisible? Forensic teams lined the laptops on a folding table and started from the top. 31 machines, all running the same accounting suite. Files mirrored across devices so one loss didn't break the chain. One index showed dispatch and mileage. Another, tucked under a bland folder name, carried a label that didn't match logistics at all. Accommodations. The structure felt corporate. Weekly tabs, regional tabs, and a monthly roll-up that showed dollars leaving in precise blocks, synced to convoy clocks. Every field had a purpose. Departure time, corridor, gate contact, clearance note. No flourish, just steps that, when followed, cleared asphalt. As the names resolved, the ledger stopped feeling like numbers and started acting like doors. Dates next to permits, shifts that matched quiet border nights, and a cluster of entries tied to personnel badges. 12 Border Patrol agents flagged by initials and pay cycles. 3 local officials linked to after-hours approvals that kept loading docks open past legal windows. The pattern held across months. When routes surged, the list lit up. When heat rose, it dimmed. The ledger didn't brag. It documented. Mechanics of the payments sat in plain text. Bribes keyed to a truck's roll time, stacked in tiers by risk. Low-risk nights paid smaller sums tied to routine lanes. High-risk runs bought longer windows, plus a backstop if a scanner pinged. Those green-lit windows lined up with outage logs where inspection portals went offline for 20 minutes, sometimes 40. A convoy would pass during that dark band, then the system would come back. The money matched the window. If a truck missed its slot, the payment rolled to the next gate on the route and the first contact got a smaller standby fee. The money path hid in the open by staying small and many. Hundreds of crypto microtransactions broke a single payout into fragments. Wallets spun through Panama, then Belize, then Hong Kong nodes built to clear fast. Each fragment mixed with normal trade flows, then jumped again. Analysts traced patterns, not sums. The point wasn't anonymity. It was speed and quantity. Banks couldn't see a river, just rain. Speed made the whole thing move. Within 45 minutes of a truck leaving the dock, funds split, converted, and dispersed. Exchanges with high turnover cleared first. Custodial wallets held for minutes, not hours. By the time a warrant formed, the currency had flipped twice and left the first platform. The accounting software reconciled each piece back into a single line item on the ledger with a one-sentence note. Cleared. One raid in Las Vegas showed the physical side of that schedule. Cold storage aisles, frost on the grates, and cash pallets wrapped in meat film. $28 million boxed and taped like inventory. The ledger's matching week showed a payout streak tied to permit approvals during peak freight. The cash wasn't idle. It was mid-cycle, waiting to convert before the next window opened. When teams reached Reno, a locked steel room added the future to the past. Servers ran diagrams for 3 new warehouses, with camera placements and dock counts already set. Contracts sat on the same node for biker-run courier groups in Nevada, Colorado, and parts of Utah. 17 drivers slotted into rotations over 90 days. A restart schedule called for 60 days to full capacity. The corridor plan stretched past California toward the Midwest and eastbound hubs, with a projected annual movement of $1.2 billion in narcotics and cash. So the ledger didn't just kill 420 shipments a month by exposing contacts and windows. It drew the blueprint for the rebuild. Modular machine shops, fresh DOT numbers, a crypto-first wash cycle, and short-haul couriers skirting rural lanes. The seizures hit the operation hard, but the weak point ran deeper. The rules that let a criminal network look like freight and behave like a company. What broke the case wasn't weight on a scale. It was a doctrine that made contraband blend into lawful freight through permits, after-hours lanes, and money that vanished on cue. You don't stop that with one raid. You stop it by changing the rules it exploits.